Look, I think in the world we live in today, it's no great secret that most people are pretty time poor. We've all got kids, we're all busy. People are too busy to be busier. Most people are putting 40, 50 hours a week into their regular day jobs, into running their businesses. Most people don't have enough time to put 80 hours or 120 hours a week, and it's simply, you've got to sleep, you've got to do other things, you've got to take kids to school. So the concept of a lifestyle trader is something which has become available over the last 20 years. So 20 years ago, there wasn't the technology, and there certainly just wasn't the market access to facilitate becoming a lifestyle trader. And let me tell you why that is. Because in the last really 15 to 20 years, the idea of these set and forget trading systems, which can identify trading opportunities, keep the risk low, manage the risk. When I say manage the risk, like we have systems and tools today built on artificial intelligence, which is commonly referred to as AI, but these are really machine learning tools, which allow you to place trades, and then these manage your trades, do it in a completely automated fashion that literally anybody watching this could use. You look at then the time required to run that technology, it's minimal. I think people are caught up with the concept that because they've got this concept of time equals money, and there's this interrelationship between the more money the more time I put into something, the more money I should get. You ask someone how to double their salary, they're like, well, I can't work twice as hard. And that's right, we don't have the same number of hours to double in the week that we're already giving to our jobs, 40, 50, 60 hours. But a lifestyle trader's game is completely different to somebody who's traditionally exchanging their time for money. This is leveraging very clever technology. This is using very clever risk management tools, which are, accessible today. These weren't accessible 15, 20 years ago. Today, the kind of tools and technology we have that we can use to our disposal, we can ensure that that hour a day that we may just be putting trades on or taking trades off and then having the system run them for us, the time required to put into it is minimal. People who start off with a day job, and I always say to people, don't quit your day job. And the reason I say that is not for any other reason than to not put themselves under this crazy pressure that they're going to be a millionaire tomorrow. Just don't do that. Take a chunk of cash that you could afford to lose all of it. Not that you're going to lose all of it, but just so you're in an emotional state where it doesn't really matter. It's not going to put you in the poorhouse if you were to lose 50, 60% of that money, because you'll treat that money different than if you were freaked out about it. So you take maybe £5,000, £10,000. Let's say if you lost all of that, it wouldn't make a massive difference to your life. That's where you need to be. Take that £5,000 and then put it into an automated trading platform and have that money run. And what we find, and this is invariably the case, I'll ask an audience of people, how many of you in this room, if you're making at least what you're currently earning in your day job, would quit your job? And I would say at least 90% of them put their hands up, which is startling to me. How many people have got themselves kind of caught in a job which is paying themselves an income where they've clearly created, a series of outgoings that need to be fed. Maybe there's a lot of dependents they've got, maybe they're just major outgoing. So they're kind of what I would call caught in a rut. They can't move forward. But secondly, the fact they're not doing anything about it, that's the bit that freaks me out. There are incredible trading platforms available today. Yes, there's loads of crappy things out there. There's always been loads of crap out there. But there's the most insanely reliable, well-managed, decent tools and technology you can use to get going. There's also other business opportunities out there. The fact people are kind of burying themselves in a hole and living with this is what it is, I find relatively startling. We're in a world now where everyone's sharing information, where you can get up and running using tools and technology like this relatively quickly. You can level your income stream, most people, in under a year. Now that's incredible. If you think most people take 20 to 30 years to build up, maybe an income of 100 or 150,000 pounds a year, they can get to their same income stream, many of those people, within a year to 2 years. Even if it takes 3, think about that. Just think if it takes 3 years to get you to a positive net income stream of 100,000 a year, where it's taken you for the previous part of your life maybe 30 years or 20 years to get to 100,000. I think you've got to compare it like that. What I often find is young people who have never traded before, they have crazy expectations of putting a few $100s in their account, and they think they're going to have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100,000 by the end. It's just bonkers. Look, here's a trading plan. Here's understanding what you can do in what period of time, and then it's following that plan through. And like all of these things, the growth chart does this. and then it starts to ratchet up. And that's because the compounding effect, it doesn't take effect until you're into year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7. Now, why don't most people get to that big compounding effect where it really starts to exponentialize up? Reason is they die in what I call the tunnel. Most people die in the tunnel. In other words, this little tunnel down here, which is steadily growing, like 2 becomes 4, becomes 6, becomes 8. You don't start to see the numbers on the scale until you're into your 20s, 40s, 100s, 300s, 400s. But most people never get there because they have expectations that the line is going to be linear, that it's just going to rocket them up, and it isn't like that. It flat lines, or relatively flat lines, and then it starts to exponentialize up in years 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Often people take money out of their trading account too quickly too. I say, listen, some simple rules here. We've got to trade to a trading plan. We've got to use a consistent risk management plan. You've got to use clever technology to free your time up. And then most importantly, keep the money in the trading account. Don't spend it. Whatever you put into that trading account, pretend you've lost it. Pretend so you've got no emotional attachment to it. You can treat the numbers as numbers, not money. As soon as people are looking at the dollar signs or the pound signs, they start freaking out. They're just pips. They're just points. They're just numbers. Pretend it's money you spent on a beautiful car that you've now trashed and you didn't have insurance. So just treat it like you're unemotionally attached from it. If you can just detach yourself from that, and it's money you could afford to lose, you're not desperately worried about how much you make or how much you lose, and then not pull any money out of that account, then you can allow it to compound up. So really the concept of being a lifestyle trader is you're using about an hour of your brain power a day. But we want it to be the best part of your brain power. So we use the systems and the technology to scan, find the best trading opportunities. You shouldn't be grinding it out, trying to find those opportunities yourself. That's a waste of brain power and brain capacity. We want your brain to be sharp once those positions are presented to you to go, right, that's the right one, that isn't, and that is, based on solid training. We're putting together a lifestyle trader event, and this is not just like a preview event. This is a full day's training where people can come along who've never done this before, and they can start from the very beginning and in one day have a very clear understanding of literally step by step how to implement 1 or 2 of these trading strategies. And by the way, you don't need more than 1 or 2 trading strategies to be successful. Forget the idea you need 100 trading strategies. That's absolute hogwash. You need maybe 2 or 3 trading strategies under your belt and you are good to go. And that is what we're teaching at the Lifestyle Trader event. It is the most amazing program we've put together. It's going to be free for people to attend. I suggest people do the VIP, they get right to the front, they get their hands dirty, they can get right into it. But if people just want to view it and have a whole day's training from start to finish, it's probably the most exciting thing we've launched in the last 17 years.
Thanks for watching. There's no telling how fast our brand new Lifestyle Trader event will sell out. So if you don't want to miss out, click the link in the description below and secure your complimentary ticket.